All right, so today we're diving into a single, really powerful idea from the daily devotional text. It's this prophecy about a last trumpet, a sound that believers think will signal the end of the world as we know it. We're going to break down what that moment is all about, and, maybe more importantly, how that belief shapes the way people live right here, right now. So everything we're going to talk about today really hinges on this one incredibly vivid phrase from the Christian Bible, in the twinkling of an eye. I mean, it's so dramatic, so fast. It perfectly sets the stage for a moment of massive, sudden change. This one verse is the bedrock for the entire devotional message. So that leads us to the big question, right? What exactly is this moment? What is the last trumpet? And how does an idea about the distant future actually affect how people live their lives today? Let's unpack the answers that the source text gives us. Okay, first things first, let's get right to the heart of it. What is this prophecy actually describing? What is the core event here? According to the devotional, the last trumpet isn't just some random sound. Nope, it's a signal. In fact, it's the signal, the definitive announcement that Christ is returning. And when that happens, it kicks off a whole sequence of truly world-altering events. The text breaks down what happens right after that sound into two key outcomes for believers. First, it says that believers who have passed away will be resurrected. And second, for those who are still alive when the trumpet sounds, well, they will be changed, transformed, instantly. Okay, so that word transformation is doing a lot of heavy lifting. What does it actually involve? Let's dig into what that change really means, according to this text. The devotional paints a really sharp contrast here between the before and the after. It describes this huge shift from what it calls our current state of perishable bodies and all our earthly struggles to a brand new state of imperishable bodies and eternal glory. And that's the key. It's not just about changing your address, it's about a fundamental change to your very being. And this quote from the source really captures just how significant this event is for its followers. It frames this transformation as the ultimate turning point, the end of every worldly hardship, and the absolute beginning of a promised eternity. You know, a belief this big isn't just about waiting around for the future. So the question is, how does this idea translate into actual, practical, day-to-day actions for believers? Well, the devotional doesn't just present this as a future event to think about sometimes. It gives a very clear call to action. It tells followers to actively meditate on this return, to live their lives knowing this change could happen at any second, and to consciously focus on eternal things over, temporary worldly stuff. And the intended result of this whole mindset is really clear. The source frames this belief not as something to be afraid of, but as a powerful motivation. It's a promise that's meant to fill believers with joy and hope as they go about their daily lives. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. This personal belief doesn't just exist in a vacuum. The source material shows us how it actually helps build a very connected and surprisingly organized international community. And the infrastructure behind this message is pretty tangible. I mean, the source lists everything from phone numbers and a physical address in Nigeria to a dedicated WhatsApp group for coordinated prayer. It's a fascinating look at how a shared belief gets organized into a real modern-day network.
You can really see the global scale right here. Prayer times are all coordinated across completely different time zones, from Nigeria to North America and all over Europe. This allows the whole community to plug into a coordinated, worldwide practice, all centered on this single prophecy of the last trumpet.
And all of this leaves us with one final big question to think about. As we've seen in this devotional, the belief in a future event is specifically designed to have a massive impact on the present, on daily actions, on your focus, on your community. It's a powerful reminder of how a prophecy can shape a way of life, and it kind of makes you think about the connection between what we believe about tomorrow and how we all choose to live today.